Bershut Moray v'Rabotai, it is a pleasure and a big honor for me to be able to share this moment with you guys. I'm very emotional and humbled that through these challenging times, scary times, confusing times, HaKadosh Baruch Hu finds a way to enlighten us with a little bit of Torah, of connection, and a tremendous opportunity together, as difficult as it is to talk to a screen, to elevate ourselves and keep clarity and comfort in this darkness that's surrounding us. I would like to touch and continue on our last shiur, but also touch on something amazing and quite incredible as a message in this week's parasha. We all know the parasha of this week. The portion of the Torah that we will read is the parashat Vayakhel Pekudei. Vayakhel, it means and he brought together, he united. Moshe comes down from the Mount Sinai after Yom Kippur, and he's glowing, he's shining. But Moshe doesn't know that. So everyone around him, including Aharon, all the wise rabbis, are taken back by this glowing face and aura that he has. So then he decides to wear like a veil on his face so that people don't get so worried and taken back. So the pasuk says, "Vayekhel Moshe et kol adat bnei Israel," and then Moshe, right when he comes down from the Mount Sinai, he gathers, unites everyone from the Jewish people, and he starts speaking to them. And as we know, the first thing he talks about is about the importance of Shabbat. Just to open a small parenthesis, I think it's pretty amazing that just in the beginning of the week or late last week, His Excellency the Pope called upon the entire world to adapt the Shabbat and follow this beautiful and harmonious, important day to just calm down, rest, relax, and enjoy what we have. Just amazing that this week Moshe Rabbeinu will reinforce this concept of the Shabbat. And it's also amazing that for the first time since the state of Israel, all public transportation will be shut down. No hotel, no restaurants, no clubs, no taxi, no cars, nothing. So the public transportation are going to be also on Shabbat. I just find it quite amazing that this is what the messages we're getting from a little bit everywhere. But I would like to dive in the importance of Moshe gathering the Jewish people. All the Jewish people, everyone. So the Or HaChaim HaKadosh asks a question and says, why does the Torah need to tell us that Moshe gathered everyone? Isn't it obvious that every time he had to speak and share with the people the laws that he received from Hashem, so he gathered everyone? God, in order to speak on behalf of God, you need to gather the entire people, everyone, and share with them what God told you. So the Or HaChaim HaKadosh says something fantastic. He says there are two reasons why Moshe had to actively and proactively stimulate the Jewish people to come together, all together, in order to listen to him. The first reason, as we mentioned earlier, is because he was so holy. He was shining so much. He was at such a high level that the people got scared. So they started fading away, not getting close to him. They didn't want to get close. So they're starting to go back from Moshe. So says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, in order to bring them together, he had to actively call them up and summon the entire community. That's one reason that we'll go back to in a minute. The second reason, says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, is because the Satan was amongst them and was creating confusion and got them to start fearing and focusing on too much desires of immorality and intellectual and confusion. Am Yisrael got very, very confused. So Moshe had, once again, to proactively summon them and bring them all together. I believe that those two reasons are exactly what we're facing today. And the message is Vayakhel. We need to gather. Maybe not in groups or publicly, but we need to gather our hearts. We need to gather our soul. We need to all gather together emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, to strengthen ourselves and be able to understand and emulate the message that is being shared with us by Hashem. So the first reason why Hashem needs to force and impose a real, essential and vital unity, based on the first reason of the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, is simply because there's too much Kedusha, something that I have a hard time understanding. I mean, when you see somebody holy, you see somebody shining, you see somebody with an amazing energy, you're actually drawn towards him. You want to get close to him. You want to elevate yourself with him. So why would the Bnei Israel, including Aaron, spread away from Moshe? Because of his holiness and his Kedusha, and his shine, his aura. I think the message is the following. Rabotai, to be responsible is very difficult. To be spiritually responsible is extremely difficult. The message the Torah tells us here is that sometimes when we have to get close, when we feel the Kedusha, when we see the Torah speaking to us, when we see Hashem talking to us, when we see opportunities in our lives to do better spiritually or to engage or to commit, we tend to fade back. We tend to step back. Why? It's so comfortable. I have everything. I'm a good guy. I do the right thing. I need to advance. I need to grow. I'm good the way I am. Isn't that, let's be honest, what every single one of us has been facing today? Everything is so comfortable. Everything's so beautiful. Everything's so nice, accessible. Do I really need to get closer to Hashem? Do I really need to grow? Do I really need to change my life? Come on. It's okay. We're good people. I'm good. No. When this is the trend and this is the way we live, Hashem needs to actively enforce and summon every single one of our hearts, of our heart. Every single one of us is summoned in front of Hashem because we didn't want to proactively get close to the shine, to get close to the light, to the aura. This is a tremendous message. I think that one of the reasons we need to open our heart, we need to get closer, we need to build, like we said in last shiur, our relationship with the one that we love, with our children, with our parents, re-strengthened our communication with them. For some people, now they have to video conference the whole family on a certain app in order to see everybody and to talk to everybody. This gathering, this unity that I call it, comes to tell us that Hashem expects a little bit more than just serving Him in our comfort zone. We should not be scared to take responsibility to grow, to better ourselves, to be better Jews, to do better things. Let's not hide behind uncomfort. This is the first message. Vayakhel. Hashem is gathering us. And the second one, when there is immorality, when there is confusion, when there is ta'ava, desire, and the desire rules our lives in the most microscopic way, in every little bit of our lives, we became so spoiled. The ta'ava is draining us. Like I said, we go and now it's not enough to have coffee. It's not enough to have iced coffee. It's what type of blend of coffee? Is it cold brew? Is it hot brew? I don't even know. Is it this milk? Is it that milk? Is it that powder? Is it this powder? Is it this type of Coke? Today you have like light Coke, diet Coke, zero Coke, extra cherry Coke. You have every Coke possible. And this in every little detail of our lives. So, this is just a reflection of how much desires we have. And it's still not enough. So, when Moshe sees that the Bnei Israel are stepping away from him because of that ta'ava, because of that confusion, he summons everyone. Everyone needs to come and gather together. No one is left out. We all gather together. To receive what? To receive the Dvar Hashem. It's Hashem talking to us. Every single one of us today has been summoned. Every single one of us has been called to gather together. But not the way we think gathering is or means, like we do typically. Today's gathering is a gathering of the essence, is a gathering of the soul, is the gathering of the heart. Pay attention. What are the protections against the corona? So you have to obviously not gather with everybody. You have to stay 2 meters away from everybody, right? And you don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, don't put your hands in your mouth, don't touch your ears, and clean your hand. That's basically the 5 things, right? 6 things. Space, and make sure that your hands, your mouth, your nose, your ears, and your eyes are clean. Fantastic. Now let's look at something. The space is the makom, is where you belong. Make sure your space is not contaminated. Doesn't have the wrong influence, the dirt of the streets. And then be careful. Make sure that your own 5 senses are also clean, disinfected, and purified. What are the 5 senses? The touch, the taste, the smell, the sight, and the ears. Hashem is telling us, clean your 5 senses. Purify the connectors that connects you to the world. If we take away the 5 senses from a person, the person is dead. He cannot communicate. Think about it. And suddenly, Mr. Corona, the crown, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and tells us, Clean your hands, clean your actions. What you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear. Clean your 5 senses so that now your receptors are able to really see what the world has to offer to you. You can actually embrace, sense, let the information vibrate inside your neshama without the dirt, the layers of dirt that have been sticking on your 5 senses. Rabbeinu Nissim writes that a prophet, a Navi, his nevuah, except for Moshe Rabbeinu, will be as clear as the refinement of his 5 senses. So the more his senses are refined, the more information he grasps, the more the nevuah, the prophecy that he will receive, will be able to be crystallized and identified so that he can understand it and then convey it to the people. Hashem is telling us, I want you to be Nevi'im. I all want you to be prophets. I want you, what does it mean, a prophet? Connected to me. Connected to Hashem. This is all he's asking. Rabotai. We need to clean our 5 senses. That's it. Incredible. And make sure that our space is not contaminated by the wrong individuals, by the wrong influence, by immorality, by the ta'ava. And how do I know that we have to fight specifically the ta'ava? So the Gaon Vilna says something extraordinary in Kohelet. And he speaks about the ta'ava, and he speaks about the kavod, and he says, V'chol ze bihyoto ben abriot. He's talking about kavod. He says, when you're with people and you mingle with people, what drives you in life is your kavod, is your ego. How much ego? How much clicks I'm going to get? How cool I'm going to be in the eyes of people? Am I socially accepted? Peer pressure. It's all ego. All ego. That's what keeps us going every day, every time we leave on the street. And we go and we work and we do. It's who's going to be on the real deal and who's going to be on TV and who's going to be on Instagram and who's going to be on this and will they say I bought this and will they say I became that. The ego. That's what drives every one of us. This is what pushes us and drives us when we're among people. But when you're alone, there's no room for ego. Who are you going to be egocentric with? Who are you going to try to show off? Who are you going to show your ring, your watch, your clothes, your shoes, your bag? Who are you going to show all this to? To nobody. So what is left? Ve'az goveret ha'ta'ava. That's when the desire kicks in. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took away our ego. I think today, we might forget it tomorrow, but today everybody knows that nobody could care less what type of shoes you're wearing, or what type of bag you're carrying, or what type of car is in your driveway. Because nobody's seeing. Nobody wants to see. Nobody has time to see. Nobody has the heart to see. So there's no really room for ego. So what is left? The ta'ava, the desire. When there is desire, we need to come and break it. How do we break it? Hashem says, come with me. That's how I will break it. I summon you to come close to me. This is the gathering we're facing today. And this ta'ava, this desire, is now something that we need to deal with. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with this ta'ava? Hashem says, come close to me and I'll deal with it. And what is the first mitzvah that the Torah tells us? It's Ushmartem et Shabbat. You have to do Shabbat. But the Shabbat is something that's very special, something that's very beautiful, especially this Shabbat. So, the correlation between breaking the ta'ava, the desire, breaking this desire, breaking this tendency of immorality with the Shabbat is the following. On Shabbat, everything can be done. You can eat the best food, you can wear the best clothes, your table looks amazing, your kids are around you, your family's with you, there's light in the home, it smells great, you have nice plates, the nicest you have, you would take out on Shabbat. So the desire, the physicality is here. So what's the problem? The problem is, what do you use it for? Nobody says you cannot have desires. And nobody says you cannot appreciate beautiful things. And nobody said, don't enjoy life, don't eat good food. Eat it, enjoy it, but for a purpose. For the simha, for the oneg Shabbat, for the pleasure of Shabbat, for the happiness to be with your family, to be with your own soul, to reflect on your own life, on your own week, to listen to what your kids have to say, what they did this week, to enjoy together with Hashem. The Shekhinah is with us. The presence of Hashem is amongst every single one of us on Shabbat. So if we understand that what is given to us has a purpose, holier purpose and higher purpose than just our own selfish desires, then we understood the message that Hashem wanted to teach us when He says, come close to me. I see there's too much desires and it's going all the way. There's too much immorality. There's too much craziness. You guys have to come. I'm bringing you closer because I want to make seder. I want to reorganize. I want to clean all this dirt so that now you and I can interact. You and I can enjoy. Rabotai, everybody's being bombarded with news, with fake news, with good news, with bad news, with every possible type of news. Shabbat is coming. And it's undisputable to say that there has been some crazy signs. I mean, His Excellency the Pope saying that the world needs to start keeping Shabbat, to me, is an unbelievable historical moment. The fact that not one public transportation in Israel will be activated and will be working and operational this Shabbat is extraordinary. So we need to beat the trend of the street. We need to beat this Corona negative influence that is haunting us. This fear. What is fear? Rabotai, people fear, people are scared, people question. Where is our emunah? Where is our bitachon? Where is the belief that we have in Hashem on a day-to-day basis? Every day we believe in Hashem. Suddenly we're confused. We forget that we believe in Hashem. We forget that we depend on Hashem. The fear is so destructive. It's an uncontrollable plague that destroys every level of comfort we thought protects us. This is what fear is. The Zohar Kadosh says something amazing. And that links with the Shabbat. It's just unbelievable. The Zohar says the following. That when the Satan sees someone very focused, very organized, a good tzaddik, a man that is very, very well devoted, what does he do? He starts confusing him. So, one bad news here, one bad news there. He sees that the guy is strong. He doesn't let himself confused. He doesn't know, nothing can stop him from the direction he's taking. So the Satan, I said, you know what? We're going to do something a little bit more. So he's going to start bringing in a little bit more confusion, more bad news. When he sees that he can't move the guy, says the Zohar, the Satan has one weapon that can take down every person. It's called the sadness. And he takes out this weapon and he brings tremendous sadness upon the person, in hope to break him, in hope to destroy his path. Sadness. That's the biggest weapon the Satan has. Sadness. So the Zohar, Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, asked his father, so Dad, please tell me, if this is the case, is there a solution? Do we have a shield to protect ourselves? What do we do? If the Satan has such a powerful weapon called sadness, fear, sadness. Rabotai, this is what Corona's negativity is doing to every one of us. Is the Satan using his biggest, strongest weapon on us. He's coming with everything he has. So that's it. You know what the Zohar says? You know what Rabbi Shimon answers to his son Rabbi Elazar? He says, but God created something else. He created happiness. When a person forces himself, pushes himself to be happy, the little bit of effort, said Rabbi Shimon, to try to be happy can break the hardest and heaviest effort of the Satan to make a person sad. Sorry, I got excited. Do you understand? It's not an equal balance where if you have 50% sadness and 50% happiness, so it's okay. You're 50-50. No. The little effort of simha, of happiness that you have, is enough to destroy and break the efforts of the Yetzer Hara, of the Satan, to break you with the sadness. This is Shabbat. Shabbat is about happiness. Shabbat is about enjoyment. It's about being together. It's about stopping the nonsense from everything. Isn't that something we want to do? Isn't that something we want to appreciate, enjoy with the loved ones? So Rabotai, please, all together. I know everybody saw that there's been a movement, there's been a lot of messages of keeping Shabbat, the Shabbat, special Shabbat, the Shabbat of Mashiach, or Mashiach. Who cares? I want to say something. Mashiach, not Mashiach, this is not our problem. Our problem is to be ready for Mashiach to come. Not to start understanding and calculating and outsmarting the system to be the first one to say, oh, I knew Mashiach was coming because this is what I saw and this is the proof. Who cares about the proof? This won't make you and won't break you. It's just going to make you waste your time. What we're going to do is we're going to enjoy this Shabbat as a family, and we're going to send a message to the Satan, but such a message that will break every single negative influence around us. And we're going to tell the Satan, Chacham, if you think, Yazaken, you old man, if you think that you're going to break me, you're mistaken. I'm taking my family, I'm taking my kids, I'm shutting down my phones, I'm not going to drive, and I'm going to spend the most amazing Shabbat I've had in my life. And I'm going to have the best food, and I'm going to eat on the best plates, and I'm going to enjoy, and I'm going to sing, and I'm going to cherish my kids, and I'm going to hug my kids, and I'm going to hug my wife, and I'm going to do everything that I love. You know why? Because I want to be happy. And these efforts, in the name of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Elazar Beno, these efforts are the promise and is the biggest segula against any negative influence, any sicknesses that the Satan can bring us. So let's be strong. Let's enjoy this Shabbat. Be'ezrat Hashem, let's get together again next week because I'm liking it, talking to myself on the screen. And Be'ezrat Hashem, share how beautiful our Shabbat was. So to everyone, I want to wish Shabbat Shalom. I love you all tremendously. I want to thank every single one of you for giving me the strength to be able to share what lives and vibrates inside my heart that I carry usually on my own. This is my own fault. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we should continue to learn together. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives me the strength, we will add more shiurim, bli neder, without any promises. And for now, I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of simcha, of happiness, and for every single one of us. For the Jews and the non-Jews, enjoy the Shabbat. Listen to what His Excellency the Pope said. Enjoy your Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. With all my heart and my love, I love you all. Shabbat Shalom.
What I did here was very nice.